welcome back to the Market Wolf, where I give you the best bear case, the best bull case, in my opinion. We are pulled out on the weekly with the VIX, and I want you to notice here that on the VIX, this is the long-term case that I want to show you here, and what's really happening in the market. We're going to look at the S&P 500 with this. We're going to look at the DXY. We're going to look at Bitcoin, and then we're going to check out HBAR. But I want to show you today, this weekend, the long-term case for what's happening here. Now, remember, last year when I started up my channel, I sniffed out and detected on the VIX this white symmetrical triangle that you see here, where we've gone into this area of consolidation after we had this huge move up in volatility in 2020 because of the, well, let's just call it the 2020 debacle, okay? And so, but when you take a look at the larger picture here, I want you to look at how these cups form on the VIX. And you can see on the left side of cups, usually they're very smooth, very round, not too steep like you see here on the current support that we have on the VIX. And then all of this noise is very unusual too. I mean, we have so much volatility as we're winding up here within this channel. It's not as if we haven't consolidated in places in the past, like back around 2000 there, or 2001. You can see periods of volatility and consolidation in between the big spikes in 2002 and going back to 98. You even see roughly the same thing play out. You see this consolidation before the 08 crisis, and then just boom, the 08 crisis just explodes, right? But you still see this kind of gradual winding up to it, gradual support, a little bit of a larger incline there that you see. And there would be like a symmetrical, I'm sure, a triangle that would have formed in there as well. But this, if you look at what's happening here, it's almost as if the what happened in 2020 is irrelevant. Look at how the support looks almost exactly the same. It's like if you just erased that spike and just pictured this volatility continuing to wind up without that 2020 crisis, you can see this would actually be like a very, very large symmetrical triangle that we're winding up into here. And I believe that can mean very, very big problems for the market, because if you look at the volatility, do you ever really see it break down? No, we have this essential baseline. And then every time we're winding up in a symmetrical, we break up big. So keeping that in mind, I want to take you to the S&P 500 now, and I want you to look at the long-term case here. This, if you remember from my old videos, this black Fibonacci circle, we've been making our way towards this one over here, but you can see that when we cross some of these fib lines, it's when we have major moves either to the upside or the downside. You can see them correlate. There's more correlation here towards the middle of the Fibonacci circles, where it rides that Fibonacci circle up. We get some consolidation, boom, we take off, boom, right back down. On that Fibonacci circle, we ride up again, and then boom, down as we cross that one big in 2020, right? And if you look all the way back, let's take a look at, we crossed, this doesn't quite line up with the 2008 crisis, but it's kind of not unusual, like in these big spaces of time in between these Fibonacci circles, to see like a ride up and then a move down and then a ride back up again to the next Fibonacci circle and then a move down towards the middle. But you can see we really start to get support, and then it really starts to make more sense as that Fibonacci circle progresses here into the future. Now, as for this up here, we're inside this green symmetrical triangle, right? We've been consolidating for a very long time. I believe this is the longest consolidation period on this chart, going all the way back to the beginning of this chart. And you can see sometimes that are similar, like if you take a look at the peak of, January of 2018, and then there's a consolidation, and then another peak in essentially September of 2018, and then that big move down in 2018. You don't get that so much on as we move our way towards the 2020 crisis. But you will see that general pattern, almost like an M-topping pattern that spills out in the long-term case. And I believe that's what we've got playing out here. I think this is going to be a double top. We might get all the way up. We might get above. It's a possibility. You can see that that's typically what happens. Your next move up is larger. But it depends, right? The reason people are going to be entering the market as this consolidates and breaks out eventually, and do notice that we're approaching this black fib circle, so I would not be surprised if we saw the break up before we get there, and then after we cross it, we then write it down. That's a possibility. But you see, there's going to be a flight to safety, and it's already happening right now in this consolidation phase. I think we're about to move into an expansion phase in the coming weeks, and we'll expand up. I think that's what we're seeing the start of right now as money begins to move to safety, as the dollar, the DXY, begins to falter and fall. And I want to show you the long-term case in the DXY for that here in just a moment. And I know I'm not giving you levels right now. I hope you're watching this because we're just looking at the pattern. And, when we get into the, I'll try and give you some levels later, maybe in the next video. But right now, I just want you to see the consolidation that's happening here. Roughly, if you call the exact middle of this consolidation, it's maybe about 412.46, somewhere in there. Here's that large red channel. This is the bottom side of it that we consolidated in for a long time. And then the upper side that we were touching every once in a while is right about here. So in between essentially the 425.74 and about the, we could go a little lower. I would say the 374.99. Okay, that's where we've been consolidating there in between inside this large symmetrical triangle. And again, I think when we go up, obviously, that doesn't necessarily mean volatility won't be in the market. We'll have to watch and see, because I think the spill out is really when it's going to be interesting. And notice that that's what happens in 2000. You had the wind up in volatility as really this is kind of going up and then beginning to break down. So I think as we wind up, it's hard to say with volatility exactly what will happen on the VIX. I suspect as we consolidate, it'll get more volatile, more choppy, and then we see that drop off. Does that mean we cool on the VIX? Does that mean we fall out of this symmetrical triangle that we're in right now? Possibly. It could possibly be a break to the downside, but not a big one. And then we could form a little bit larger cup there in time. It just depends on how fast all of this moves out of this consolidation phase into an expansion. And then I don't think there's going to be much contraction. I think it's going to be another blow off top on the S&P 500. And then that one's really going to bring you way down. And I think we're going to be looking, when we do finally make that correction, you're going to be looking at a move down to the 389.73 level. I think we double bottom there. I really do. Now, we've already double bottomed there in the past, but you've got to understand what's been going on in the market. This is totally unnatural. You can see that all the way back here, from our rise up from around 94 to a peak in 2000, and then a correction down. If you were to, let's just do a measured move on that just to see what we're looking at here on something like that. That'd be interesting to do. So if we just do a measured move from that break down there, that's a breakdown of about 48% Same measured move from the other peak, except it broke down even further on that second peak as it carries out into, there's actually another double top right there back in 07, and then the breakdown in 08. So yeah, this is actually a perfect example. It looks very similar to what we're seeing right now. And so you had a breakdown of roughly, we'll call it about 57%. If you were to take a 57% move down from the top of where we are right now, this is another M-top, blow-off top reversal of sorts. Let's take a look at what we got. Let's say we get back to peak here. 57% move down. Well, 50 is where our support is that I told you, where I thought we would double bottom at 389.73. But, if we go to 57%, that kind of a correction brings us down to what makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. Somewhere around the 202.61. If it was the top side of that consolidation phase, it would be, if we got support, it would be 213.80. So I think that's the reality of what you're looking at. And if it becomes very serious, a lot of people are talking about this being the next Great Depression, kind of 2.0, then you're talking about, I think, a move down even further. I really do. I think you're talking about maybe getting support at 180, 186, or even at levels we haven't seen in a very, very long time, maybe 157.66. Depending on how bad and how long this thing's prolonged. Because we're approaching a part of the market cycle now. Nobody knows how long this exactly lasts, but we're approaching a part now where we're going to start seeing layoffs. On top of having an inflationary environment, I mean, you see how unnatural this is. 2008 correction wasn't allowed to finish because right here they start QE, and then we're just constantly moving up. They try to fix the books a few times, and then they just go back to quantitative easing as always, and it really looks like we're approaching an end of an era here, potentially. I don't know how long they can keep doing this, because you can't just infinitely print money forever. So, especially with certain variables that are in play right now with the population inversion, right now we've got a workforce that's equivalent to the size of what it was during the Depression around 1943, was it? During the war years? Or was it? It was in the 40s, I know that. But we haven't seen these kind of crazy levels in a long time. And so, in order to have real wealth, real product, real GDP that you can look at and say, yes, we're producing, and not running budget deficits, or running negative when it comes to trade with other countries, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. This is not a good situation at all. But hopefully, you can make money to the downside, and you can be one of the people that listen to Market Wolf and paid attention and figured out how to make money on the way down, maybe even leverage trading. So, if we take a look at the DXY, again, this all plays out with this case in the DXY. I showed you this on the last video. Please go back and watch that. I won't go through it right now because I don't want this video to be extraordinarily long. But you can generally see what's been happening with the dollar. We've got a large downward channel here that we've been in, and we've got a sub-channel that's below that. It's also a downward channel that we've been in as well over time. And recently, it's looked like we're beginning to drop off. And, of course, the dollar is essentially the inverse of the S&P 500. And this is why the S&P 500 would begin to go up and maybe give us a double top here, because money is trying to fly to safety. And then, of course, you have a big crash. Everybody sells. Everybody's trying to get out. Ugly stuff. And you want to be ahead of the curve on that so you don't get waxed. Bitcoin. We are attempting to... Here's our old double top on Bitcoin. And then, of course, the market spilled out, right? Now we consolidated for a long time, got our low, entered another period of consolidation. We've essentially been consolidating around that same average of 21,362, but now we've begun to move upwards and onwards, and we're currently around 30,331. My gosh, we may have gotten support up there. That's incredible. And again, this has to do with the dollar, so I wouldn't be surprised if on the DXY you continue to see, if we were to zoom in, you continue to see this move down on Monday. That's a possibility. Now, don't rule out consolidation, backtracking. We're not really doing a short-term case right now. I'm just mentioning it. But yeah, Bitcoin in the long term, I think, again, you're going to see another flight to safety. I don't know if this is necessarily going to be the same as we saw last time with the last run-up, but I think that we can definitely, as people run to safety in the market, I think we could definitely see somewhere around 46,866. I know personally for me, anything I'm holding at that cup level, I'm going to be selling, and I'll probably choose an area. You can see here where, we spent a week here. We spent 3 weeks in this area. And yeah, that's a long time to try and figure things out, but I'm not sure if when we come up, we're actually going to spend that long in that area between about the, let's see here, 42,147 and the 48,089. I'm not sure that we spend that long there this time. We could have a major crash down, back down to these levels again. As the market gets hit hard, I think people begin to go into gold and that kind of thing. I'm not sure that, I know that Bitcoin is not going to last as a viable cryptocurrency for an actual market, as far as case use goes. But I do believe HBAR has case use, XRP, Algorand, all of your other banking coins. I mean, they clearly have a case use, and then it's just a matter of, okay, who survives that. So for me personally, I'm going to make sure that I have some of all of these, and HBAR is probably not going to load up right now. I think I'm going to do a separate video on HBAR. Yeah, it's loading up the S&P 500 for me. So, but I just wanted to show you the long-term cases here. So keep that in mind with the VIX. I think we're moving long-term to this heavy consolidation is looking very ugly. We're going to have a spike up because the dollar is on its way down. That means the S&P 500 is going to probably put on a double top, if not a higher top. It could be a little lower. I've discussed that as well, that maybe you don't come all the way up here. I'm kind of in flux right now about what I believe will happen there. I can tell you more once we start to expand on our way up and what I think once we start getting to those levels. But that's just, I'd be looking for an M-topping reversal here and then a quick shot down. Quick, relatively speaking, right? Week to week, it's going to be ugly. So that's your bear case. That's your bull case for the long term. I've shown you both, and I've given you my opinion on both as well. Look, if you like the content on this channel, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please share so other people know, your friends, your family know what's coming here. This is so important to understand how the market is working and just what we can expect and what we need to be prepared for. So, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time on The Market Wolf.